Welcome everyone to Game 2, Elite the Fast Randomizer Daily Race here on Speed Gaming's 5. My name is Lucian Greeth. I'm joined here in the chat room with Zethno tonight. How are you doing?
Doing great. Looking forward to seeing what this Enemizer decides to throw at our racers.
Yep, and so we got 2 trackers on hand tonight. So we got a 4-person restream with Mr. Ed 3, Rai, Silver Owl, and Arya Star 2942. For those who don't know, Enemizer co-op mode is going to be the mode of choice for Week 7 of the Elite the Fast Randomizer League. So, nice little bit of practice. Not necessarily the co-op aspect of it, but getting that Enemizer practice in, because Enemizer can throw you a lot of curveballs.
Oh, yeah. Enemizer. So, just to be clear for anyone that... was that Boots in the first chest in Sanctuary? I'm going to stop that explanation.
And Hammer in Link's house.
And Hammer in Link's house? What game? Well, what?
Yeah, this is a very generous opening.
Yeah, both openings are amazing. If you start Link's house, you got an easy way, like, through Castle here. If you start Sanctuary, you just get to run everywhere. But, okay, back to what Enemizer is. You can already see it. If you've seen this game before, you're looking at the screen and you're going, you know, some of these enemies aren't supposed to be there. For example, on Arya Stark's side there on the bottom left, you have a Lionel in the castle. Lionels are not supposed to be there. That's actually a really rude place for a Lionel, actually.
And then lastly, I forgot to mention, on our trackers tonight, we got GC Girl and Revenant tracking for us. So they'll have the fun job of keeping track of items for us.
Yes. So the one big thing you kind of want to look out for is watching where some of these rude enemies will pop up. Lionels are a very good example of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And a sword. Good golly. This is easy mode, Enemizer.
So yeah, so we have Boots, Hammer, and a Boomerang, right? So far?
Yeah, so we got a way to stun,
and
we got damage, we got dashing, inbound flute.
No, this is great.
Answers in the chat, Surger132, Hammer was in Link's house, Boots were in Sanctuary, so literal first checks. Alright, so we've had our share of Lionels so far, which is always fun in Enemizer mode.
Yeah, well, the big question is, and I don't think I missed it yet, no. Chicken Hut. Chicken Hut's always the big question of Enemizer. Do you walk in and can you do it, or do you walk in and find like 2 Lionels, a Red Guard, and something else? You know, that room can be really rude at 3 hearts. You can just walk in and die.
Yeah, I might have screamed a bit once or twice playing Enemizer, walking to that place.
Oh yeah, many times in Enemizer, what you end up having to do is you walk in there and then you find out, oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, so we are. Chat's mentioning it. I looked away for a moment. We found gloves.
Yeah, in Blind's Hut in the bottom right.
So, well, that's an item. So we have gloves. Okay, we basically almost have Dark World access.
We got our pearl now too. And,
there's Dark World access. In the middle of me saying we almost have Dark World access, we found Dark World access.
Good lord, game. Alright, here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, what a cop out. This is easy mode.
This is like, okay, there are easy seeds that are designed to be easy. I'm just going to say this is not one of them.
Ooh, go for Dark Cross and Enemizer. That's bold.
I mean, I would say that, but like items. It is definitely still bold, but we definitely have an item set that's kind of reasonable for it.
Oh, it's Isaac down there too. That's I wish. Oh God! Wow, Rai did it. They got the
Piece of heart.
yeah, but
Not worth
them
it,
for doing
but-
it.
Seems like it wasn't too bad. Having the hammer is nice. Oh, but yeah, Rai finds those boots, goes, oh, that would have been helpful a while ago. As they are actually the last person to pick up their boots.
Alright, so Mr. Ed's got his Dark Water access. Might pivot right to Swamp. See if there's South Dark Water Swamp access. Going to the Swamp.
Oh, with a map check.
Saw Red Crystal to Eastern, Blue Crystals everywhere else. I got Red Crystal Ice Palace, Pendant Swamp, and Pod and Skull Woods.
That was Pod being the green. And just welcome to the 59 Raiders we just got from Speed Gaming 2. Welcome to an ALTTPR daily race. Today's mode is Enemizer. If that word gives you any indication, our enemies are randomized. If you look at the screen and you've ever seen this game, you'll see exactly what that means.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned also bosses are shuffled in this mode too, so you won't be seeing, well, you might, but typically you won't be seeing Armos and Eastern, Helma and Pod and so forth. So you might be seeing some odd faces in odd places.
And yeah, just a little recap for all our new viewers here, because I think a lot of people are wondering how the heck the runners have so many items. Boots were in Sanctuary, Hammer was in Link's house, the sword, the glove, and the Moon Pearl were all in Kakariko. Why this game wants our runners to have access to everything right away, I don't know, because it's not normally this nice. And yes, we have a comment in chat. I would really like it if we see Helmacopter today. If the next time you see Helmasaur in Skullwoods, if you've never seen it before, I'm not spoiling it for you. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, just look at the name Helmacopter and use your imagination.
Yeah, I was commentating one race a while back, and my co-commentator had never seen it. We had 4 runners on screen, and every time it happened, he couldn't stop laughing.
Was it Andy who kind of popularized it? Because remember, his reaction when he first ran into it is a pretty popular.
I don't know.
post.
No, it was I forget who I was commentating with, but they it'd been known for a long time, and it just if you've never seen it before, that particular boss in that room is just absolutely hilarious.
And then also
Oh,
go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
Also, you might see the dreaded Trinex on ice.
Trinex on ice. If you ever see Moldorm in Skullwoods, it's a very easy boss, because for whatever reason, Moldorm never learned how moving floors work, and that boss kind of ends up in a funny place. We are getting a really early catfish check. Back to what our runners.
Yes.
Oh my! Are you kidding me? Also, Silver Owl has lamp.
What is going on?
What is this scene? What are we Okay, we are 8 minutes in, and I'm seriously considering starting to talk about what we need for Go mode. What? What is this scene?
I don't know.
What is the scene? We have a sword, gloves, moon pearl, and hammer. What is inaccessible right now? The Meyer area?
Yeah, Meyer area.
Obviously Meyer and Turtle Rock, because we have no medallions, but everything else is open? And the back of Skullwoods.
Death Mountain's not in Logic, but it is doable.
No, Death Mountain's in Logic. We have Lamp on Silver Owl's side.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that.
I seriously think everything is in Logic except, very specific places locked by specific items. I think we are going to see some insane divergence from these runners, because they can literally go everywhere. Yes, East Death Mountain is out of Logic, because while we have Hammer, we don't have Mirror, so we need either Hookshot or Mirror to get over there.
Yeah, so yeah, with this much front loading of the items, we're gonna see a lot of divergence. So with the world being everyone's oyster, we're gonna see a lot of shenanigans.
I missed it, but chat is saying Hype Cave. No, actually, or one of our trackers, Alex, is saying Hype Cave. No good.
But Hype Cave would never.
Once in a blue moon, Hype Cave is actually hype, but oh man, the disappearing enemies on Mr. Ed's side, those are always really annoying in that room, because you just have to keep waiting for them. I missed it when Silver was in there. When all 4 of our runners are in a different place on a map, it is very easy to miss what one of them is doing.
Yeah, you have to go cross-eyed to keep your eye on all 4.
This is why we have 100 people in chat and 2 trackers to let us know what we missed. Shout out to our trackers that somehow have to keep an eye on all these people at once.
Wind Rider Shiva in chat, I see your Final Fantasy Tactics reference, and I approve.
One dig for digging game? Okay.
This sea is beautiful, man.
Okay, so we are starting to get a little bit of following on each other's tracks, finally. We can take a second to actually see where everything is. Mr. Ed may be the first person to give us a new thing, because I'm assuming this is going to turn into a water walk?
Yeah, I saw the way he left.
Yep. So this is an important thing. Do not get hit while on the water.
And do not bonk while water walking.
That too. Getting hit is just like any... Oh, that is not a nice place for a guard. Okay. Hey, when did the guards learn how to glitch? How is that guard water walking? Come on.
He dashed out of, He dashed out of, Ice Rock Cave.
Yeah, but... yeah, maybe the red guard has boots. But I don't understand how he knows how to do that. But his rupees on the ledge there, nothing important. That is... Look at Rai-Rai's screen. That trap. That trap is in a rude place. Come on.
Oh, they always are.
Yeah, traps, here's the thing. Traps are enemies, so traps can replace any of the enemies. They can end up in some really unpleasant locations for our runners, especially on the water.
Now, wall masters in dungeons where they don't belong is always really good, because I had one, like, I was trying to set up Icebreaker a couple weeks ago, and wall master was in the Icebreaker room.
Yep. That one gets a lot of people. You set it up, you're ready to go, and as you're setting it up and you're moving, you go, oh, I'm not in the right place for this, and you get grabbed.
And you're right on top of your block, so you can't really dodge.
Yep. Unpleasant. Okay, so we have Silver Owl in Village of Outcasts. We have Rai-Rai in Skull Woods, and Mr. Ed in Kakariko, and Arya in... Going into the back of Hyrule Castle. That's easier. Mr. Ed going into Dark World, though. Are we going north or south? What do you think?
For who?
Mr. Ed, we're going south. I'm just wondering, Skull Woods or Village of Outcasts. So we're being told that the Fire Rod is on Lake Hylia, I think that is.
Okay, I thought I saw a red rupee, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think it was there either. So we'll see.
All right, Silver Owl is giving us our first Master Sword in Skullwoods.
Okay, yeah, multiple confirmations that it was not a Fire Rod. I just wanted to confirm. Thank you, Jinxie Girl, one of our trackers.
Good.
Honestly, with this seed, tracking is so much harder than commentating because we can miss things, they can't.
Yeah, as commentators, all we have to do is just yell really loudly once the crazy stuff happens. Like, you know, the meme with the two guys pointing and with their mouths open, that's us, the entire seed.
Oh, look at this. Bomb strats here for the bomb throwing enemy whose name starts with E that I cannot remember.
Oh yeah, and a very important part of this Enemizer mode, when you get the compass, I think it's a relatively recent update, you get the compass, it'll tell you which boss is present in the dungeon.
Oh, yeah, that's... which boss? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Have we had anybody take a look at that yet?
I think Miss Ed gave us a glimpse. I didn't catch who or what was there.
I looked away. Oh, we found our second medallion. Mr. Ed picking up the Quake, while Arya Stark has the... Oh, actually, Silver Owl has the Quake too. About the same time, probably. I was just looking at the wrong screen. Meanwhile, Rai dancing with another trap. Rai finding all of the traps.
I think Rai is our only one with a Master Sword at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good... so I'm assuming it was in Skull Woods, because it's the only thing they've done that I think everybody else hasn't.
Correct, yeah. We got Helma.
Runners are just... okay. I was going to say we're using bomb strats, but we're back to hammer. Oh, no bows, so this last phase is kind of sucky. I don't really have a better word for it, it's just not nice. If you know the spin speed strat, you can use the hammer. But...
Ooh, and Miss Ed is doing the dance.
Yeah, so this is just 3 hearts, no bow. Second phase of Helma is just kind of unfortunate, but it is done. Yeah, well done to get. I'm like, that was Helma, but we were in Thieves Town, so Thieves Town is a crystal. Well done. And this is a good. Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Say this is a good example of bosses being in a different dungeon that Lucian was mentioning earlier.
I was about to say something similar. Like the fun thing about Thieves Town is the boss is anyone but blind. You can just rush the boss and ignore the whole back half of Thieves Town if you so choose.
That got changed when I wasn't looking at it. I remember the last time I did one, I actually still had to get the maiden. So that's good to know.
Yeah, if it's anyone, if the boss is blind, you still have to rescue the maiden because it plays out like a vanilla Thieves Town. But if it's anyone but blind, you're good.
Oh, that's great. Great little nice upgrade. So we are getting some Eastern checks here on the bottom half of our screen. Found another bottle, but nothing else.
And those bullies are just are those Keatons, I think? They're just taking all of the Miss Ed's bombs. Oh, Kirby Fan 9000 is correcting me. I was slightly off. Even if it is blind, you do not have to rescue the maiden. Okay,
then that's probably what I'm remembering. Yeah, I didn't remember there being a difference for blind without the maiden.
Gotcha. That's my bad.
I think there are other versions that may do that, but not the one that that we run on here.
Alright, so not much to Eastern. This is going to give us our Smith turn in.
Running around without that mirror, gonna have to do the long dash. Oh, I missed it. The first enemy out of Sanctuary is actually a fish. That is, I find, one of the most dangerous enemies in Enemizer, because if you start at Sanctuary and you have 3 hearts and you just run down, sometimes you just die.
I've been there.
The first thing you do, you walk out and you just die, and it's like, well, I did not get far. Let's try this again.
It's a obscure life form cameo with the fish. Oh, and Miss Ed ends up having to pay 9 rupees to rescue the blacksmith's life.
There is a good point being made in chat that the room that Arya is in right now is logically bowling, even though we know that it will always have a killable enemy with a bow. So
nice use of that Ether medallion.
Sorry?
I said nice use of that Ether medallion.
Oh yeah, like I mean Enemizer, Ether, and I mean Bombos especially, but Ether 2 and Quake to some extent are just really nice because you get a room where it, just to point out, Arya has a very quick kill here on Moth. Moth is one of the easier bosses when taken out of its original arena. The arena is the problem, not Moth itself.
Exactly. Like, Mothula anywhere else is just baby town frolics. It's so easy. Oh, Rai gets the God Pixel, but gets one of those, I don't know what to call them, those pots that come alive.
Yeah. Enemy names are not my strong suit. For anyone that's heard me commentate in the past, I'm getting better, but there's a lot of enemy names in this game.
And a good chunk of them are one-shots in the series. Like, I don't think you ever see Zyzax anywhere else, but besides Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Or Pen Gators. I think Pen Gators are exclusive to this game. And they're committed to just protecting Blind. If Blind was actually here. Alright, so Rai is about to have a showdown with Helma. Turns out Mr. Ed had the right idea not committing to the back of Thieves Town. Looks like there wasn't anything in particular back there. Now the difference is Rai has a nice sunroof to fight Helma with.
I'm sorry. What? Hookshot?
Hookshot? Where?
Oh, there it is. Hookshot in the cave on the mountain.
Back rock hookshot. Okay, so that very nice choice coming up here.
That is somebody in chat had almost the exact same reaction I did. Okay, so you know what? Look at that. East Death Mountain access is on the mountain. So remember we were talking about one of the few things that we need remaining is access to East Death Mountain. Now we have it. So at this point, what are we looking for? We probably need Fire Rod.
Probably we'll need an Ice Rod.
We may or may not need Ice Rod. That's...
Oh, yeah. Trinex.
We can just walk into Trinex on a Crystal Dungeon and go, oh, I guess we need Ice Rod today.
We don't logically need Flippers, because Swamp's a pendant. We can get into Ice Palace without it.
We need a... Logically, we needed a bow, but I'm not sure we actually need one, because we don't actually need it to defeat Eastern.
Yeah, so unless some Igors or Red Mimics show up, bow's out. But
they can't be required to beat the game, because of the way Enemizer works. Okay, so yeah, logically we need Flippers, because logically we need to get Ice, but our runners won't need it.
Yeah, logically we need Flippers, but what is logic?
So we need Flute. Like, literally, right now, we need flute, right?
Sounds right. And depending on what the medallion situation is, we might still need that Bombos.
So we need flute, we may need bombos, we probably need fire rod. And that's it? like we're 24 minutes into the game, why do we have 3 items on the required list?
Yeah, so we could need an ice rod depending on if Trinex.
We need mirror or book. We need a way. Or no.
We got book.
Who has book? Oh yeah, Silver has book. Okay, so we don't actually need mirror.
Book was in Paradox, I believe.
We don't need mirror. Nice use of Quake on Mr. Ed's side because no ether. Just gonna turn all these guys into little enemies that are way easier to kill. We're gonna see another Hammer Moth. Man, Hammer Moth is so much easier when the floor underneath you isn't moving.
Yeah, Moth just becomes a giant joke.
Yeah, Moth is honestly a pretty easy boss anywhere except Skull Woods, where Moth is actually one of the harder bosses for most runners.
Yeah, Moth can get real hectic real quick, but if it shows up, which is not looking likely at this point, you put any other boss in Skull Woods, most other bosses in Skull Woods, it becomes an ordeal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the room that's hard, rather than the boss.
Oh yeah, Silver Owl up in Tower of Hera.
Oh! Right. Dashing up after killing the Igor, dashes right into a spinning fire. Thing. Ooh, don't have the name for that, but yes. Spinning
Was
ball
that a fire bar?
Yeah, the spinning one rather than the...
Oh, I think those are wisps, maybe?
I said earlier on, don't count on me for enemy names.
I'm grasping straws, I could be very wrong. Like that, what's on Mr. Ed's screen right there?
No. That's a roller.
There's a wisp, like southwest of it.
Oh, I missed that. I saw the roller.
The Scottish Brave, rating with a party of 15. Welcome everyone to the jettiest Enemizer we've ever seen.
We are between 1 and 3 items from Go Mode. Probably 2.
And so as you can see, everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. We got Vanilla Moldorm, although he's got a few more eyes than usual.
Yeah, that's not vanilla. I do not remember Moldorm having that many eyes the last time I was in this dungeon.
And this mode turns Moldorm into a Bloodborne boss, just eyes everywhere.
Yeah, so it is a random number of eyes between 1 and 8? Question mark? I think it's 8.
Yeah, so with the super early loadout of items, everyone's just kind of doing their own thing right now. As you can see, we got 4 different razors in 4 very different locations.
Yeah, so already start down there in Thieves Town that I think at least 2, if not all 3 other runners have cleared. We got Silver Owl cleaning up Tower of Hera. We got Rai over in Ice Rod Cave that did not have an Ice Rod. That would be weird. And Mr. Ed in that should be Pod.
Yes, Mr. Ed's got an advantage. No one else has gotten their Titan's mitts from Catfish yet.
Yeah, so that's a huge difference for Mr. Ed. Having those mitts from Catfish is just going to make routing and moving around the world just a little bit easier. And actually, that's a good question. In chat, someone's asking, does the number of eyes change anything in Moldorm? It changes absolutely nothing other than what it looks like. That is a good question.
See, I always thought, like, when I was first doing Enemizer, I always thought, like, it was, like, whatever number crystal the dungeon was. Let's say, like, Dungeon 5, Crystal 5. That's how many eyes Moldorm had, but that's very obviously not right.
No, it's not, but it's kind of an interesting thing that you know, speaking from a runner that, like, when you're learning this, it's something that kind of makes sense. And you know, if this is something that looks interesting, please do join our community. It's a very welcoming community. There's a lot of runners that are willing to help you out, answer questions.
Yeah, the Links to Past Randomizer community is. I've always shied away from competitive gaming.
Sorry, Mr. Ed falling into a pit there.
Oh, good. I've always kind of shied away from competitive gaming communities because of how, I guess, quote-unquote, cutthroat they can be. But ALTTPR has been just absolutely wholesome.
That's not right.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, there's our third sword. So whoever comes to pod next will have their tempered. Oh no, pea hats everywhere.
Oh god, yeah, wow, the basement of pod. That is not kind.
And chain chomps.
That is not kind. Don't be like that, pod. You know, pod's always that dungeon that like always throws something at you.
Yeah,
and it is kind of the joke in the community, right? Pendant pod always has something, because the moment it has a pendant, it'll have something in the back. Okay, we do have Silver Owl, the one with that book, investigating desert. There's a new check down there, so keep an eye on that bottom right. Meanwhile, Arya Stark and Rai Rai both going over areas that we have seen already from other runners.
We got Lanmo as the boss of the pod. Oh, no bow. We do need the bow to get the backup pod open up. So yeah, so we are still a bow away.
Well, the bow is only required for green pendant.
Oh yeah.
So we may not need that unless somehow our flute? Yeah, that's possible. Our flute is on pen.
Well, whatever gets us to Penn and Skull Woods, boss, I'm for it.
Yeah, that's so not fun. We're not going to see Penn and Skull Woods, boss.
I don't know what MSU Mr. Ed. I think we're using Mr. Ed's audio. Whatever it is, though, I like the vibe.
I don't know whose audio we have. I will find out.
I believe we're using Mr. Ed's, but whatever it is, I like it.
I can confirm we are using Mr. Ed. Yeah, and I can confirm it is the King of Fighters MSU that we are on Mr. Ed's side.
Okay.
Just have to go back a little bit into our data here. We see a death on Arya Stark's side. That is a death warp because we are going all the way.
Oh, we're bailing on Pod or Thieves Town.
Thieves Town has already actually been completed, so I believe he beat it and then went to the back and then just death warped out.
Meanwhile, we got Vitreous over in Desert Palace.
Ooh. You'd think those eyes would dry out, so they should be able to be defeated a little easier, right?
It's gonna rub some sand in your eyes.
That is not the way this game works. Right takes a hit in the back, but does have a fairy, gets revived. Meanwhile, Silver Owl's still dodging eyes.
Now, granted, you do have fighting a sword Vitreous is never fun, but at least you have the room to maneuver in a non-mire battle.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised we're not using the hammer a little bit, but the hammer is there.
Or bombs. You can throw bombs into the crowd.
Yeah, that helps soften them up. It takes quite a few bombs to beat anything, but it definitely does a whole bunch of damage to a lot of them all at once.
But I get it. 4 hearts. I don't think you want to try and aim bolt on Vitreous. Because
no, that's a good point. At 4 hearts, you want to keep it as safe as you can. The hammer does do, what, twice as much damage as a spin, but many times you get 2 hits with a spin, so...
That and the hitbox on hammer, like, there's just that delay on the hitbox.
Oh, yeah. And most hits we're getting here are on 2 to 3 different eyes, so it's probably actually better to use the sword. Yeah, there's a point in chat, though. We do have blue male, but even blue Yoshi. See, look at that. 1 hit, 3 hearts. Like, you don't want to risk anything, because now Silver Owl is 1 hit away from dead.
Yeah, Vitreous just hits like a freight train.
Well, Vinny's supposed to be, what, the second last boss of the game, and we're in here with 4 hearts? You're supposed to have a lot more than that. Even just from defeating the bosses before this, if you manage to avoid every other heart, you'd have, what, 5? Like, what, 10, 11 hearts?
I'd have to go back and check my NMG playthroughs.
Somewhere around there, though, right? Like... Because just the boss heart from all of the other dungeons.
Let's see, Sync Heart plus 3, so...
Plus 5,
4,
right?
7...
Plus
5.
The 3.
So you should have 12 hearts if you're ignoring everything else, and get the Sync Heart.
So I guess here's the seed. The seed's like, we're going to give you all of the items you require to finish the game, but you're going to do it at 2 shot. So just don't get hit.
It's basically a ludicrous seed. Ludicrous speed seed.
The hearts get taken out of that one? I forget.
You're locked in at 6. 6 hearts the entire game.
That's about right. Mr. Ed's at 6. Rai's at 5. Arya Stark's at 5. Silver's at 4. Silver Owl.
And Silver Owl pulls off the Vitreous kill, a fire sword.
Well done. Very annoying fight, but pulled off for a huge, very important sarcasm. Red crystal. Ed gonna go up the stairs, find out there's Moldorm here.
There was a term for vanilla, but there's also a lot more eyes than there should be.
Yeah.
Like Eldritch vanilla?
I don't know. Mostly vanilla. Wow. Oh, that was well used hook shot there on Mr. Ed's side. To take the no damage from Moldorm and just sneak through to the back. Vanilla plus. How about that?
Alright, looks like Arya is going to be getting their Titan Miss. They're going to be the second one to get those, so we'll see if they put those to work.
So we're after all of this time, we're still looking for the same items. We need Flute, we probably need Fire Rod, we might need Ice Rod, and the bow puts us in logical, back into logic.
Yeah, and one thing Mr. Ed's going to be able to do on this trip up to Death Mountain that Silver Owl was not able to do is Dark Death Mountain. Silver Owl does not have Titan events.
Those Titans mitts, that's... Oh, I was going to say that's going to be such a big advantage because no other runner has them. As I'm about to say that, Arya Stark. And I wanted to look around before we started and... Well, I am just going to comment that we do have 4 runners on stream. We do have 8 runners in total tonight. So there are 4 other runners off stream. We really won't talk about them at all until at least one of our on-stream runners finish. But just to let you know, it is an 8-person race.
We wish them well.
Yes, good luck to all our runners, on stream and off.
Ooh, red nail. Got a lot of red in Super Bunny. You got the red cape, you got the red nail.
Red boots, red lamp, red pearl. Red handle to the hook shot. What we need now is the red sword so that our runners can be happy. Because
well, you have...
Sorry. I was going to say, red sword is just so much nicer than blue sword, isn't it?
It is, and we know, for anyone who's picked up their Master Sword, because we know there's a sword in Skullwoods and there's a sword in Pod. So everyone's got swords, but they have different ones.
But we do have access to a third sword. Okay, that's... Oh, the Mimic. What a place for... Whoa!
Fire Rod.
Okay, well... That... Okay, so we basically need Flute. Rai going to pick up the hook shot there. Going to be our 3rd runner to do so. Arya Stark going to be not far behind because there's nothing else available on the mountain until that's found. There has been a... Yeah, just so we know that we do still have to check that Meyer medallion. Do not know if it's going to be Bombos or not, so Bombos may or may not be required. We need to find the flute first.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Mr. Ed taking a death. Ah, that makes sense. Using the fairy to very good use here. Gonna switch over to the cape, and yeah, very well done.
Yeah, nice to play.
Doing it a little earlier than should be able to be done, not worth it, but it was a good play.
Yeah, that cleans up Death Mountain completely from us, except for Turtle Rock now, so we'll not have to worry about this for a while. Yeah,
I really like the play. As much as it didn't work, it was a very good heads-up play moment.
Or no, Miss has no. Yeah, no, Miss has stuff to do.
I wasn't fully watching at the starting, so I was watching our other runners, right, picking up the book. So I'm not quite sure what we're coming back for. I'm kind of wondering if he's gonna.
Oh, okay, yeah, looks like he's out.
I want to know what happened there. I'm making a note of that one.
I looks like Mr. Ed's gonna put that book to work. Go reading.
Reading is good for you. You should go read every so often. Oh! Oh, you know what? That's what it was! Mr. Ed was climbing to go do Turtle Rock, but didn't have the Cane of Samaria, immediately finds it in the next chest. Because you mentioned the only thing left was Turtle Rock. He was going up there for Turtle Rock, and he 3/4 of the way up bailed, not realizing that, because he realized he didn't have Samaria and couldn't get it.
And then he goes and finds Samaria.
And then immediately finds Samaria.
Womp womp.
That's, you know, it is really unfortunate when you find it in such an, I don't want to, like, Sphere 1 location. After all that work, you've checked so much of the world, you get stuck, you go out of your way, you lose a bunch of time, and then immediately find it in something that was accessible the moment you started.
Yeah, you make the you try making the big brain plays, and then the big brain play was just too big brain.
See, the big brain play here was he already checked Mini Moldorm, so he went south. He just skipped the dam checks. Or dam check. Yeah, the dam checks. And skipping the that I did not notice all the mini Helmosaurs. That is an awkward place for them. But skipping that those 2 locations was really unfortunate for Mr. Ed. Yeah, there's some language in the chat that I would agree with. You find that you're not happy with the randomizer about that location. You are going to see a Tower of Hera glitch setup here. This is the new one, I think. Yep.
Yeah, there's a new setup that was discovered like a month or so ago. I don't know. I mostly stick to Philippi, which I think was discovered last year.
Yep, I never learned that one. I'm still on an old method that only I use, but I have to learn this new one.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about like Hera Pie. Like there's a few glitches in this game. Like everyone's just kind of got their own homegrown method to pulling it off.
My method's very similar to one that a number of runners used, but it wasn't the majority, and mine was slightly different than theirs. So every single time somebody tried to like take a look, they're like, "No, you're in the wrong spot. Just wait a minute. I'm where I want to be. I'll still make it in." I think my setup had my initial placement a little to one side and then the bombed location a little to the other, so I ended up on the same location after. Hammer Moldor on the right side.
So I think I was going through the Mentor tournament last year when Philippi was discovered, so it was really fresh when I was learning the game, and so that's the method I kind of latched onto.
Yeah, you and I were actually playing in that at the same time.
Okay.
And 2 people that want to learn, there is a tournament every year that is hosted for newer runners where you get a little bit of help. And some of the more experienced runners will help you through your runs and teach you what to do. So if you're interested in learning, that is a good thing to keep an eye out for. Join the ALTTP Discord if you're interested. And you'll be forwarded along.
To the good people at the Go Mode podcast.
Yep. Okay, so what have we got here? Are we checking anything? Yeah, we're not checking anything new anywhere. But we do have another runner. There's the bombs that you mentioned. Looking at Mr. Ed's side, Lucy, and you were mentioning the bomb method of softening up these eyes so it takes a little bit less time to kill them all.
Yeah, I like it. Mr. Ed also has the luxury of a bit. He has his red mail. He has Master Sword. He's got the luxury of being a bit more comfy. He's got the cape.
The cape is nice. The cape is a great way, especially once you soften them up with bombs, and you can just walk in and destroy most of them with a few spins.
Yeah,
you can see the difference though. Like, look how much faster this was, and it's not a skill thing. It's just the Master Sword cape difference.
Yeah, Mr. Ed is just bullying Vitreous.
Yep. Bullying is bad, except when it's against an ALTTPR boss.
Then it's
allowed.
Out of the corner.
Then it's allowed.
All right, so that's crystal number 4 for Mr. Ed. Windstrider Shiva in chat. Yes, I think it's every May or so that Go Mode hosts that mentor tournament.
Something like that.
But it's always a good time to learn this game. People are willing to help out 24/7.
Yeah, a lot of the people that are mentors for that tournament are willing to help out outside of the tournament as well and spend some time with you and help you learn as well too. So never hurts to join the community and ask if somebody's willing to help you out for a bit.
And people are willing to do like mentor style games even outside the mentor tournament season. So never be afraid to reach out to anyone for help.
I don't think we planned this to be an ad for the ALTTPR learning community, but it's working.
Hey, it's I've never seen a gaming community, treat its own so well.
Yeah, everyone's always happy to have other people learn. And, we're seeing one of the other fake flipper strategies on Mr. Ed's side. The fake flipper that gets you up to the witch's hut.
Stock on potions?
Yeah, I assume this is just it. It's just a potion grab.
Alright, Silver Owl's got their third crystal from Not Blind.
That's a lot of work for a potion. Where's Mr. Ed going that he's so confident that he's going to need a potion?
I think he's setting up the Ice Palace?
It's a lot of work for Ice Palace. Maybe it is.
That's what it's looking like.
Oh! Turtle Rock! Bottom left. Arya Stark.
Oh, okay.
That's an important. That's an important one.
Yeah, Mr. Ed's setting up for Ice Palace.
His ice. Yeah, you know what? To be fair, Pengator Room in Enemizer can be really rough. That room has what? 6 or 8 enemies, and when you randomize them all, it can kind of be mean.
I mean, that's Enemizer in general is pretty mean.
Yeah, there's a few rooms in particular though. That room. What a spike! What a spike! You can't even stop that. It just flies at your face and says, "Look at that! You're losing a heart immediately." Rai takes a death against Vitreous over in Desert Palace, unfortunately. Showing that this boss really isn't as easy as the other two, or as Mr. Ed made it look. And Silver Owl put out a great show. Didn't take a hit almost all the way to the end. Like they both showed different strategies, both very good, but it's not an easy boss.
Yeah, Silver Owl took a very conservative, safe approach,
Yes.
and Mr. Ed just went guns blazing.
Both strategies work if you're comfortable with them. The big thing about a lot of this game is just making sure you're using a strategy you know and you're comfortable with. Wait, what? We found Ice Rod. I looked away for 2 seconds
Must have been in
to
the,
watch what Mr. Ed was doing.
Yep, perils of four-way comms.
And I guess you weren't looking there either. You and I are looking at the same people at the same time. That's not a good thing.
No, this is news to me.
Okay, so literally we're still looking for the flute. I like 22 minutes? I know 24 minutes I was talking about it, but I was thinking about it, like 22 minutes. So 30 minutes ago, I said the next big item we need is the flute.
Yep.
Comms curse? Like, I don't know. Where is this item? Chat, there's over 100 of you. Where do you think flute is? Give us a shout out. Lucy, you want to take a guess? Where are we going to find this flute?
I say on Pendant's boss, or Skullwood's boss.
Skullwoods? I like that, just because I want to see Skullwoods.
Yes, I want it.
I want to see Skullwoods. I want to see if it's a Moldorm or a Helma. Anything else, I don't really care. That I actually really like the typo. I know exactly what you need, but we have one guess that it's going to be on bed.
We got Armos Knights in Ice Palace as the boss.
But I like that. Link's just gonna go to sleep and gonna find it under his bed in his house. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, Link's the Pied Piper. He just keeps his flute under his bed.
Just totally forgot I had this. Let me go pick it up from under my bed. Oh, I missed that little area, that little glowing ball. On Rai said that we just saw. Like, you basically have to take damage to walk through that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, to the whole bed joke. Like, it's actually a starting flute seed, but Link just forgot his flute.
Yeah, basically. But But we have a lot of ped guesses. Can we get a guess? Chat, I know you love ped. I know you do. Can we get a guess other than ped?
Oh, chat and your peds.
We do have ice or laser bridge. That's quite a few locations. But yeah, like give a shout out here. Oh, one of our trackers, Alex. Good point. Arya is doing a big turtle rock check here without mirror. If, say, an important item like flute is in Mimic Cave, this could be a really rough decision, as it's going to be a pretty much absolute last location.
Yeah, that's definitely a hard commit.
Yeah, you're going to ignore that. At this point, you're going to say, I made the Turtle Rock play. I'm not going back. Like, if it's there, I'm gone. But... oh, what an Igor location on Arya's side there. Is that a red? A red. That's even better. It needs a bow. Oh! Armos Knight's a nice palace. Mr. Ed using sword beams. This is an unpleasant way to get it done.
But gets the job done.
You want to know the really kind of funny thing? On Armos Knight specifically, Master Sword sword beams will do more damage than Master Sword.
Huh, I didn't know that.
So here's... I don't know if that Quake is going to work because, yeah, Armos is in the air. The thing is that Master Sword does less damage to Armos than Fighter Sword does.
Interesting, I did not know that.
It's one of those weird quirks. I think the devs are trying to stop you from using spin strats with Fighter Sword, so they made the spin of Fighter Sword do less damage because that's the sword you're supposed to have to make you use that bow. For us in randomizer community.
Mirror.
Oh yeah, let's interrupt you for that. Where was that?
Sorry, mirror and flip.
No, you're right. Like where? Sorry.
Sorry about that.
No, I'm saying no for sure. Where was it?
Oh, mirror and flippers are on Laser Bridge.
Mirror and flippers. No, I'm like, no, that is a thing definitely worth interrupting that mechanic conversation for. Wow, mirror on Laser Bridge. That's okay. So, what do you do with that? Like,
good question. I didn't really open a whole lot except K45 and Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah,
and
but
bombos.
like even like, did Arya go outside or did Arya just take the inside route because they didn't have access to Mimic Cave? Because like, do you go back? Like, if you went outside, I don't know if Arya did. Do you go back and try Mimic Cave to clear it because you're close enough? Like,
oh god, if Flute is in Mimic Cave, that's an all-time great troll job by Seed.
right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got the mirror there. You're so close to Mimic Cave, but like you've kind of passed it. We got another Armos Knight Seed. What is this game's like no bow, all Armos.
No bow, all Armos. That's sounds like a good league name.
I like that. If I ever go back, I gotta remember that. That feels like a seed where you get like one of the seeds where you can get a singularity where like every single boss is the same. You get all Armos Knights and both bows are behind Ice Armos at the end. But man, okay.
So we basically got a finding big key on Argus kind of situation here for Swamp.
Okay.
But Mimic is a much bigger time investment than the Swamp House Big Key.
So here's the thing. We're looking for this flute. This flute, it's a little bit of an ice rod hunt here because flute can be anywhere except the Mire area. There's one small section of the map is not allowed in. It's a little bit more than an ice rod hunt, but not that much more.
It's what, 4 checks? Mire Shed, checkerboard, so 5 checks.
5, right? Because plus Mire.
Yeah,
5, right?
I wasn't counting checkerboard in that initial.
Yeah. So, like, there's 5 places this cannot be outside of GT that we can't get to. Like, our runners have literally been looking for it for 25 minutes.
And Jinx Girl and our trackers point out there's still one item in the back of Skullwoods.
No, I like that. Let's go to Skullwood. Someone, go check it. I want Helmicopter.
Do it!
Please? Oh, we did get a half magic out of Turtle Rock, I guess. Because Arya has it.
That's good. So it looks like
that is
Arya's... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that is like the nicest quality of life item you can find, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Oh, Floating Island. Floating Island, it's okay, almost Turtle Rock. That's like the one quality of life item I would still go like out of my way for. I don't know about you, Lucian.
Let's see. Half magic is on. I usually get half magic and MMG. I gotta say real quick, I love, for any Simpsons fans, Mr. Ed 3 is using the Homer Simpson sprite. The bunny sprite is Evil Homer from I can't remember what episode it's from. Anyone who knows the joke knows the joke. It's like, I am Evil Homer. I am Evil Homer. Yeah, Shiva gets me.
Okay, Silver over picking up the mitts. Sorry, I was on the tracker, probably just ahead of time. So all our runners now have mitts. 1 hour Titans mitts over on Silver's side. Ouch! Because Mr. Ed had them at what? About 12? 15 minutes?
Yeah, I think Catfish was one of his first Dark World checks.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ed got into Dark World and was like, you know what? Everybody else forgets Catfish. Let me go there first. I don't know what roading led there, but I'm actually kind of curious what led to that. Because that's just one of those locations that most runners just put off right to the end. Just to add in the right place to get Mirror, if it is required. Going to put that Ice Palace back in Logic, actually, which will feel nice.
Yeah, when you get that early Catfish check and it's something progression, it's just beautiful.
I'd like to know where the heck this bones.
Yeah, you wonder if you're picking up the mirror and flippers in Turtle Rock at the same time. That almost feels like a go to swamp. Like the game's just telling you go swamp.
Yeah, like it does put all of Swamp in a Logic here, and there's a lot of items in Swamp.
Like I don't know if anyone else is superstitious in this game. Sometimes like you get like everything you need for one dungeon all at once. Sometimes it just feels like the game is giving me a message.
Yeah, it definitely can. It can definitely be a thing.
But like I said, that really depends on how superstitious you are, though.
What's our second red crystal?
It was Eastern and Ice.
Ice. It's hard to see when it's grayed out. Okay, it is ice. So we have red. We do have Pyramid Fairy in Logic. To answer your question, chat, like no boss requires a bow, but logically Eastern did. On the other hand, it could just be that the game thought that we were going to find it somewhere ridiculous.
Now, a fun mechanic with Armos, if you manage to keep at least one Armos from taking its place in the formation, that halts the entire cycle. You can just if you can keep one Armos out of formation.
That's a great little trick to know, actually. I'm just laughing at the amount that we're seeing these runners just like hammer away with their sword. Oi, okay, hit with their sword with these sword beams. I don't want to say hammer with their sword beams. But like those Armos knights are just insanely annoying to our runners. Where is this bow? Like, there's a bow that is not in GT somewhere. Where is this thing? Maybe it's also in Swamp, along with our flute.
It's like Silver Owl's taking a death. I didn't see where they were.
I missed it. In Turtle Rock, because all Mr. Ed, Rai, and Silver were all in Turtle Rock.
Looks like Silver Owl's bailing on Turtle Rock.
Interesting choice. Mr. Ed gonna pick up that half magic, probably at least happy with a little bit of safety there. If we end up finishing this game on... Wait, where was the other sword? There was one in Pod. Mr. Ed has the Pod sword. Where was the other one?
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods. I'm kind of hoping we see Skullwoods. Mr. Ed hasn't been up there. Go up there with a fire rod. Let's see this pen. Mr. Ed has every crystal possible at this point. Just to like bring everybody up to speed here. Arya has, making it 6. Arya has 4. Silver has 3. Rai has 3. That has quite a nice crystal lead here. So honestly, I think we're going to see Swamp first, but I want to see Skull.
There's that bow.
Oh, wait, okay. We found the bow. So you were supposed to go to Turtle. You were supposed to get the book from Mini Moldorm, go to Turtle Rock, get. Oh, the game logically wanted you to do bowless Armos Knights.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Because the mirror was in Turtle Rock. So, like, logically, you're going to finish it while you're there, right? And then you got your mirror to go get your Bombos tablet. That's mean, Seed. Oh, here's the other thing. Did any runner go back to Mimic Cave? I don't think anyone's gone back, right?
No, no one has gone back for that.
Oh, my man. If Flute is on Mimic Cave, this is going to be a great scene.
Jet Seed giveth and Jet Seed taketh away.
Like, yeah. 20... Did we need the Fire Rod for East? I don't know what was on that side. I just saw Silver's there. Did we need the Fire Rod to go to the right side of Turtle Rock? There's no keys.
Good question.
No, because Silver's leaving with no keys. I'm not sure. Oh, but oh, Big Q was there. Okay, thank you, Jinxie Girl. One of our trackers. Thank you very much. So Fire Rod was required. So we needed Flute and Fire Rod basically for Go Mode so far. For the last 30 minutes? No, 40 minutes.
That sounds about right.
We have no evidence that Ice Rod is required yet. We've been 2 items from Go Mode for 40 minutes, and we've had one of them for like 20. And we're just waiting to find this Flute. Oh, yeah, well, we got chat talking about, well, Trinix will be on the GT climb. Very well could be. But for now, we were 2 items from Go Mode 40 minutes ago, and we are now 1 item from Go Mode. Because this seed was so nice in the first 20 minutes and so mean in the next 40.
Yeah, that's the curse of the Jet Seed. It seems so nice starting out, but then it just, it's how it gets you.
We even have all the medallions when we got that mirror. And the flippers, like, because we got Bombos. Bombos was in a kind of a rough place for Enemizer. You'd like to find it a little earlier than Laser Bridge. Favorite Disney movie? Trinex on Ice. I'm sorry, that's good.
Alright, so Mistad's giving us some checks we've already seen.
I'm kind of curious. What's the Armos Knight fight going to be from Rai here? Everyone's got different strategies here. Oh, yeah. Do not. No, don't do that. Spin. Spin. Don't use your sword. Don't do this. We were talking about this earlier. Master Sword spins do less damage than even Fighter Sword spins on Armos. Do not swing your sword at them if you can avoid it.
Yeah, because a Master Sword swing will do Fighter Sword damage, but a Master Sword spin does temper damage.
No. Master Sword swing on Armos Knights will do less than Fighter Sword damage.
Oh, okay.
It's purposely set up to make you not spin at them. Because you think that works, and it doesn't.
It's going to be a little careful here. It's a little low on health. Oh, no. Did they have a safety? Yeah, he did. Okay. It is fair. You like to see that because, cause I don't know if Rai took the safety door.
Yeah. So here's the thing. For an Armos Knight, it takes 12 Fighter Sword spins to defeat one. It takes 24 Master Sword spins. So it is a Fighter Sword spin is twice as strong as a Master Sword spin, and a Master Sword spin is even stronger.
Ooh, Rai's going back for the Mammoth Cave.
No, it isn't. Actually, Master Sword spin is the same. It's ridiculous. Fighter Sword is twice as strong. So what are we talking about here? What did you just say?
Rai's going back for the Mimic Cave. Check.
Ooh, that is a deep check. That is risky, but we'll see it. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, so to be clear, Tempered Sword swings at Armos, or because Chat's talking about it. Master Sword and Tempered Sword swings are both 12 hits each. Tempered Sword spins are 6 hits for an Armos Knight. So, yeah, I guess when you think about it, a Tempered Sword and a Master Sword are the same damage on a swing against Armos. That's how ridiculous this boss is. It was not coded for you to have anything better than a bow. It was supposed to be bow and fighter, that's it.
I can't remember who said it. I remember an interview on the podcast where someone said, like, Link to the Past is coded by two guys who clearly hated each other.
Yeah. I mean, it made sense, right? Like, there's no way you're going to have any other sword than fighter. They wanted to make anything better than fighter pretty weak against Armos because they wanted to teach you to use the bow. So they just weakened every other thing against Armos. Silver gets the Armos fight with that Tempered Sword.
Hey, here we go, moment of truth. If the flute is here, this swings immediately to Rai's shovel.
Oh wait, hold on! We're not done. We're not done. Would you like to do a fetch quest?
It doesn't have to be a fetch quest.
It is a fetch quest. Because here's the thing: if flute is on shovel spot, which would kind of be funny.
No one suspects no flute.
You'd be like, isn't that where flute's supposed to be? Then, man, this could be really interesting right here. And you're right. If flute is on shovel spot now, Rai still picks up a big advantage, even being down 2 dungeons. 2 dungeons against Mr. Ed.
Yeah, no one is going back to Turtle Rock anytime soon.
No, that's going to be an almost last location if it's that. And honestly, none of these runners are going to feel bad about leaving it. They're going to go, I made that decision. Sometimes rando's rando, and you make a decision and it's just wrong because it is. The odds of it happening are extremely low, so you get 1 in 100, right?
Exactly. Like there's a difference between a bad idea and an idea that didn't work.
For sure, and that's something in rando. Sometimes you can make every right decision and still lose because you made the statistically right play that would win 95% of the time. It's just not that. You hit the other 5.
Hey, Rai's about to give us our moment of truth here. Unless maybe unless it's maybe a mushroom on Dick's spot.
Oh, that would be hilarious. You know what? I want to see mushroom. I want to see mushroom. This would be absolutely great. I want to see this. Oh, no. Okay, sorry, Rai. You're in trouble. That means Mr. Ed picks up the lead once again.
Yeah, you really hope to see it just for the chaos it sows.
Oh man, like, can you imagine the other 3 runners trying to... Can you imagine the differential in times of our 8 runners for when people decided to go back for that item?
Yeah, in case like that, also almost makes you wish commentators paid by the minute.
Wait, hold on, you're getting paid? I thought this was a volunteer position.
Wait, it is?
Yeah?
Oh.
Speaking of, our runners are doing a great job, and please do give them a follow.
Yeah, Enemizer can be pretty nasty sometimes, so them going up on stream for this, it's give them a follow.
And everybody involved, my Kokam, Luciet, and our trackers, Jinxie and Alex. And to answer your question, we have not had a pet check yet. So, Flute could still be on pet, which, oh, there's that mean spike on Silver's side. Ooh, hey, Arya's giving us a look. Is it Helmicopter? Is it Moldorm that doesn't understand how moving floors work?
Oh boy.
Or is it any other boss that we don't really care about? Because none of them are as cool as those 2. I'd like to see either Helma or Moldorm at the back of this boss. I always do.
Alright, here we go. Oh, wait, what am I getting excited for? I thought... Wait, what was on
Was
peg?
that a sword? It's a sword on ped. There's our 4th golden sword.
A vanilla sword.
Oh, there's a vanilla sword on ped. Nope, not gonna happen. I'm sorry. None of our runners are doing it.
Okay, so that we're still looking for that flute. Oh, there's another Vitreous.
Hey, game. Master Sword's supposed to be there, not Gold Sword. You got it wrong. Could you please? Oh, I think that was our last item, wasn't it? We're not going to see the boss at Skull Woods unless someone's not counting. Sorry, chat. I really wanted to see it too.
What a jet.
Hey, maybe if somebody finishes early enough, we can convince them to go back into the seed and show us.
There it is.
There's the flute.
That is the go mode.
At 118, Mr. Ed picks up the go mode flute from Swamp Dungeon.
Oh, hold up. Mr. Ed might not be in the clear yet. Depends on what the medallion
Oh,
for...
Mr. Ed doesn't have ether. Where is Ether? Arya had ether at like 10 minutes. What location did he miss?
I do not know. I'm being told
the man under the bridge is holding it.
That's right. He did the water walk, but he's went straight to Zora.
Yeah, I skipped the bridge check. You know, to be fair, it's one check. It's probably got nothing. I can see that skip, especially when you have the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, you got Moon Pearl money. It makes sense.
Chat having a nice reaction to our most famous song of ALTTPR.
Nice little item dashing with the flute there.
So here it is, moment of truth. Is Mr. Ed truly in go mode at 118, or are we gonna find an ether and royally make him upset?
No.
It's a Bombos, we're good. I love the Bombos while we're on, like, Magic Powder. I don't remember Magic Powder blowing up the screen.
It's the upgraded version.
I never found the upgraded version in my original playthrough. I gotta go back. I thought I 100%ed this game.
Oh, it's pre-order bonus for the game.
Just to be 100% clear for any viewers, we are kidding.
Yeah, there was no pre-order bonus for the Past Randomizer.
Just in case we have some new players watching, trying to figure out how to do that. Ooh, that's a thief location right there. In Meyer on Mr. Ed's side.
Let's see if we get the God... Sorry.
Oop. No, go ahead.
Let's see if we get the Godmire here.
That's what I was just going to mention. Silver Owl fighting a boss, and of course it's Armos Knights again. And Rai going to be heading... Ooh, what a chicken! There's a chicken in Ice Palace. I wasn't at Frozen yet. Frozen chicken?
Yeah, it's frozen section of the grocery store.
Yeah, frozen chicken sounds good.
Throw it in the air fryer for a few minutes.
Yeah, that'll work. Plenty of ways to cook that. But Silver having some fun with these Armos Knights. Having the Master Sword just makes this so much easier. The thing is, Master Sword does the same amount of damage as Fighter Sword against this boss. Okay, now we're seeing the Fire Rod used. I'm actually curious. Fire Rod does the exact same amount of damage as a Tempered Sword spin, so it's actually twice as good as using the Tempered Sword as a swing. Armos Knights have the weirdest damage table. That's all I can say.
I know Bierna melts through Armos like butter.
Hey, I think I just lost my... Oh, no, I didn't. Berna does the same amount of damage as a Master Sword swing, actually. The nice thing about it is that when you set it up correctly, you can hit all 6 of them at the same time and trap them against the wall. So even though, wow, that is a lot of fire spinners. I missed that before. That room is kind of neat.
Just a bit.
But, yeah, so the thing about Berna that makes the best damage is not that it does a lot of damage, but that you can hit all 6 of them perpetually at the same time. So it takes 12 hits total, but because you're hitting 6 of them at the same time... by the way, Rai going to show how this is supposed to look with the arrows. Look how much easier this fight is when you have a bow.
Who knew?
Yeah. Maybe they should put it in the big chest of this dungeon. You know?
That sounds like any idea.
Yeah, let's put from now on, the bow, that makes the most sense. Let's put the bow in the big chest of the dungeon with the Armos Knights. Why didn't the devs... Wait.
That's some dangerous thinking.
We did that. We changed that. That's where it's supposed to be.
We played God.
Bow is in the big chest of the dungeon with the Armos Knights in vanilla.
Yeah, we've played God and we're reaping the rewards.
I'm kind of curious how... I kind of want to make a note. I'm curious how all our runners feel about that Armos Knight. Gonna leave that as a question for them later.
So at this point, whoever gets...
Sorry. We have a Trinex required, so we did need that Ice Rod.
Not a great arena to fight Trinex in.
No, really not. And wait, how? What? Did that? I didn't think the first fire rod hit, but it did. Mr. Ed doing a good job of preventing the ice from landing on the ground. Can you imagine? You can't go to the top side of the map, and there's ice on the bottom right. I think Mr. Ed's probably pretty happy about the fact that he has a lot of health and red mail right now. Oh, okay. Sorry. Chat correcting me. The reason that didn't happen is because ice can't land here. That makes sense. Thank you. Small thing I forgot. Thank you to both Lana Bean and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna for that correction.
That is Crystal 7. Do you know what time it is?
Yeah, I there's a guessing game. It's to do with a small key?
The opposite of small, actually. Big.
Oh, a big key. Why don't you explain it?
Yeah, for anyone who is unfamiliar, there are 22 checks in the basement of Ganon's tower. One of those has our big key that we need to go up Ganon's tower. So we have to guess 1 through 22. Where's that key going to show up? What's your guess, Ethno?
I always say 8. If you go back on any stream I have ever commentated, I have always said 8. I will not change it. What about you?
I'm a firm believer in chaos when I'm not playing, so I always go for 22.
I do 8 because it's just my number, and it's always been from before I calmed and after. So 22. So you're basically guessing tile room, right?
Always.
Yeah. Until that runner decides to do tile room early.
Yeah, that's just being spoiled. That's being a spoil sport.
Then it's what, ice rod or not ice rod? Ice Armos room, like the vanilla room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I guess technically, if you go tile room into full left, it could be compass room. That'd be a really weird road. You know, tile room into full left and then right.
That's just... I don't even know what to call that routing.
Messing with the comms. That's what that is.
It's like drunken master routing.
Like, I can't come up with a reason why you would do that other than just like having fun at comms and thinking either you're so far behind it doesn't matter. Maybe, like, if you think you're just so far... But I guess by that point, as long as no one else has, like, finished, you wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2... We went Hope Room first. Mr. Ed with the Hope. But no... The game says no... We're gonna again.
The game says Hope is gone. There's only
no
Rando.
Hope for you. What's coming up next here? We missed 3. What was on the torch?
Compass.
Ah. Well, we know what the boss is here. We don't need to go looking for it. Ganon cannot be randomized. I'm sorry. 5, 6, and 7.
Again, turns out to be Armos Knights.
Can you imagine? You just like walk into Eastern Palace and find Ganon? Nope, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this fight.
I wonder what happens in phase 4 of that fight.
I don't know. But we have 2 runners in pod and 1 in Eastern, which is just Light World pod. There's my 8. I did not get anywhere. But, ooh, that is a rough trap spot on Mr. Ed's side. Ooh, blue boomerang strats in that room are not easy. That was well done on Mr. Ed's side.
Alright, so right now Mr. Ed just has a very commanding lead on this.
Yeah, 9. And yeah, 9 for a shield. Very much, which is why a little bit we're focusing on this particular stream. We will jump back to the other runners as they hit important things. Ten is mushroom. 11 is rupees. 12 is the big key. 12 is the big key. Wait a minute. And Mr. Ed goes for 13 and gets the shield. 12 is the big key. Did we get a guess of 12? We did not.
You all lose.
The closest guess was Shiva. Wind Rider Shiva, who's been with us pretty much since the starting of this race today. So congratulations, you're the closest. Oh, there were 13s. Sorry, there were 13s. There were 2 more 13s. We had Morguy 84 and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. I didn't scroll up far enough. I apologize. All 3 of you were one off.
Alright, so unless there's some silvers up here at the top of GT, Miss is looking at a Master Sword Serverless Cannon, which is more than capable of doing, I would assume, but no one likes doing it.
I mean, ew. But, yeah, the thing is that Mr. Ed could take like 3 falls and probably still retain the lead here.
Oh yeah, no one else is even particularly close at this point.
Like this is a drastic difference. And it happens sometimes.
Well, like I was going, sorry.
Oh, go.
Like we were saying at the beginning, with as front-loaded as Seed was, like there were just so many paths to playing the Seed.
There were. I think Mr. Ed did a pretty dang good job of finding a good route that got most of the items in as short a period as possible. I think that he's pulled this off extremely well, and that's what's led to this advantage. The thing is, when you look at the rest of our runners, you got Rai at 5 crystals, you got Silver Owl at 6 crystals, you got Arya Stark at 6 crystals. Like, everyone else is pretty dang close, and they're either looking for that 6th crystal or they're looking for that, Actually, you know what? Why is Rai not? Rai doesn't have flute.
Yeah, nobody has flute. It's on the boss of House.
You know what? But so here. Oh, so what am I missing? Desert. Rai never finished Desert?
Looks like it. Nice little in-game knowledge there. When Argus leaves the screen to do his little hop-up, it counts as the screen being empty, and the game just assumes there's no boss.
I'm just going to say quickly that that is correct, but be very careful if you were a runner. The game assumes there's no boss, but the boss will show up on the next screen. And it's kind of scary when the boss just randomly shows up on your face on the next screen because you're not expecting it to be there.
Yeah, Link to the Past operates on the logic in a few cases where things like, well, I don't see any enemies, so they must all be dead.
Yeah, but it also works on things called super tiles, and if you're on one of them, it basically considers them all the same room, even though it doesn't look like it to you. So enemies can just kind of jump from what you think is one room to another, but they see it as the same room with a wall in between. Arya going to swamp. Silver Owl going to swamp? Yep. No one.
It's all coming together.
But hold on, no one is checking Bombo's tablet. That's where it was, wasn't it? No, there's nothing there.
It was on the boss's swamp house.
It was on the boss. Okay. I have no idea why it had Bombos. I know Mr. Ed went there first, so maybe that's what I had on my brain. Is that the bow? Ah. Bombos was bow. Okay, thank you, chat. I knew there was something important on that location. Ooh, Cold Stare fight. Half magic and Fire Rod makes Cold and Fire Rod and half magic makes it.
Alright, strap in everyone. We got Master Sword Serverless Cannon coming up.
And So let's see. Blue balls? Yes, no. We got a 1. Yeah.
It's a nasty timed one, too.
Yeah, we're not having a good Aga fight here. Honestly, the angles are just kind of a little bit rough. That one we might have been able to get another one. That said, against our on-stream runners, Mr. Ed does have a pretty commanding lead, which we were talking about before. But please do remember, there are 4 runners off-screen. You do not know where they are. They could already be on Ganon. They could be on Aga. They could be done. We're not talking about exactly where they are until we find out our first on-screen runner. So this could still be a very tight race. Keep that in mind.
I have the horror that is Enemizer. I don't know what it is, but the bad sprite for Ganon just... Enemizer messes with it. I don't know exactly what it does on a scientific level.
Oh, Enemizer just messes with a bunch of things. Enemizer can be really fun in the app. You know what? Watch the credits when Mr. Ed goes through them, because credits can be really interesting in Enemizer.
Oh god, yes.
They can be a lot of fun. So, 12 spins for phase 1, 12 spins for phase 2, 4 spins for phase 3, and 24 spins for phase 4. So we're looking at 52 total spins for Mr. Ed to finish this seed.
Spin to win.
Spin to win. Wait, that's from another game.
I associate with Bloodborne with the Hunter's Axe.
I have it with a totally different one, but that's fine. Man, so this is the big thing, right? We're getting close to the end. Mr. Ed has the lead here, but say one of the off-stream runners does have a tempered sword from picking it up in pod, this could be a big difference. No, pod. What did we miss? Skull Woods. Because a lot of runners, Mr. Ed's missing the Skull Woods one, I think, and a lot of runners do pick up Skull Woods early, and I'm kind of curious why he did.
Well, I know a lot of people swear by Dark World. Skull was basically an overall check in immediate Dark World access.
When I was playing a lot of the time, it'd be my second run through, but it's definitely a thing that I know a lot of runners do consider it overworld, and if you get access from Kakariko's side, a lot will just check it right away just to get that check out of the way.
Yeah, like you just said, it really depends on where I'm getting my Dark World access from.
Yeah, if you've got access and you're coming from the south, it's a little different. You're almost definitely going to do it at that point because it's at the end. But when you get it at the top, it's kind of iffy. It depends on what else you have and what you want to do. Both our bottom runners are exiting swamp. Swamp? Sanctuary is a swamp. Please don't build your sanctuaries in swamps. Both our runners are exiting swamp at almost swamp. I did it again. Sanctuary at the same time to go get their bows activated. They're gonna fly in their bows. I'm just gonna stop talking here. Lucian, you take it.
They fire their bow. They like Mjolnir style. Like they fire the arrow and they just like grab onto the arrow as it flies across the land.
Thank you for making my comment make sense because I'm not sure how I would have done it. But yeah, these ducks are pretty synchronized. This bottom end of our race here could be a real race. Look at that. They are like 100% synced on that pickup. And there it is, Mr. Ed, with the Ganon defeat. Congratulations to Mr. Ed. Get your GGs in chat. There's 140 of you. I want to see more than 3 GGs. Come on. You can do it.
If I don't see 143 GGs, I will stop the stream right now until we get our GGs in chat.
Alright, yeah, you know what? We got some various different types of emotes. Use your emotes. Show what emotes you have. Maybe you have a speed gaming one because you follow one of our channels.
And just let everyone know, that is good for first place, not only on our restream, but first overall in the entire race with a time of 1:38.31.
and we will be having Mr. Ed join us.
And he's here right now.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say join. Well, GG's.
Hello, GG's. That was fun.
Very nicely done.
My first question is always to our runners what you think of the seed, but I just want to tell you that not a single other runner has 7 crystals yet on stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, wait, no, sorry. Yeah. Every single other runner is still missing Mire. 2 of them are in Mire. One of them's still looking for Flute in Swamp, and we'll have it soon.
Like, Swamp was just like a... I mean, it to me, it just kind of made the most sense. And, of course, left side Swamp must have had silvers, because why not?
We did find silvers, actually, on right side. Chat. They were in here, I assume, right? Help us out, please. We got distracted by Mr. Ed finding Ganon.
Oh yeah, I did not see those silvers.
They had to been left side because I did I cleared out everything except left side when I did Swamp looking for the Flute, and then
yeah, Ganon said Swamp. Yeah, you're
yeah.
right. We started watching other runners for a little bit because your Ganon fight was long. You were the only runner not to have Tempered Sword.
Oh, what a shock. Let me guess. Swamp Palace has it? Or, I'm sorry, Skullwoods?
Skullwoods has it, yes.
Yeah, Skullwoods, yeah. Yeah, that's...
Skullwoods and a vanilla sword on pedestal.
Of course.
So I have a few questions for you, actually, Mr. Ed, I guess. I noticed one of the big things that changed things for you and versus our other runners is the fact that you got Titan's Mitts a good, 20 to 30 minutes before everyone else. Why Catfish first?
I think a lot of it, to be honest, was I had when I got the boots, it kind of audibled me to usually what I'd like to do is I like to start at Sank Houlihan, get money, get bombs, and probably try to avoid CAC. But when I got the boots, I'm like, well, you know what? I can farm a few bombs. I could do Lost Woods. Hey, there's a sword. And I got Moon Pearl and Glove right away. So I'm like, all right, well, now I'm going to save and quit. I'm going to start at the house. Lo and behold, there's the hammer. I'm like, okay, well, Dark World access in 5 minutes. That's awesome. So I decided, I'm like, well, you know what? This is about as good of a time as any for me just to go and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a quick dip into Hype Cave. And you know what? Why not? I'll take a look at Pyramid and Catfish. And especially if Catfish has something, I usually feel that would be a pretty big turning point. Me having the boots sped it up a little bit. So if I were to walk, that might have been a little bit of a different story. But I'm just like, hey, you know what? I feel like I've made good plays. Within 5 minutes. Let me go right ahead and just take a look at Catfish, and I got those mitts, and I'll be honest, I was both happy and really confused, only because it's like, wow, I have literally whatever I want I can do for the most part, except the mountain at the time. I'm like, wow, where do I start?
We were talking about that. I think at 24 minutes, pretty much from a commentary perspective, we had everything but the 2 rods and flute. We're like, okay, we're 24 minutes. This is a jet seed. And then at an hour and 4 minutes, we were still missing the flute and a rod. It was kind of like, okay, 40 minutes later, we found 1 item.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, and that was my biggest concern. And I do have to say this much, and I apologize to anybody out there. I was really hoping to never find a bow. I was really hoping. When I found one on Bombo's tablet, I'm like, oh no.
There's 2 things I want to talk about. One is the bow, but before we get to that, I do want to mention we do have a second finisher off stream. We do have Zed Sinhi. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I apologize. About 3 minutes behind at 1:41:30, coming in second off stream.
Real quick, Homemade Beer shared your sentiments about the bow in chat.
I missed that.
Earlier,
right?
Yeah, because what happened was right before you won Bombos, Homemade Beer's like, hooray, a boa seed, and like 10 seconds later, Bo.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. Both on the fact of, hey, you know what? I wanted to have Ganon call me a dingus, and secondly, it kind of was like, okay, well, Green Pendant Pod, there's one item on whatever the boss is, which actually I think was Landmo, and Green Pendant Turn, and I'm like, I don't really want to think about that. So,
the
yeah,
big thing was that it was actually the bow was required to be somewhere in Logic because of Eastern. The odds were you were going to find it somewhere.
Yeah, you're gonna find it. You're gonna find one somewhere, but yeah, I just was like, no, I really hope I don't find a bow. I want to be able to have that much of a notch in my eyes, except for the fact that then there's 2 Armos, 2 Vidis, and it's like, well, cool. Actually, no, I did have a bow for the second Vidi, so rip me there.
We have a question in chat for you. But before I get there, because this is going to lead there, so we saw you did a second climb of Death Mountain, and you got like 80% of the way there and you bailed. Was that the realizing you didn't have Samaria?
Yeah, that was exactly it.
Because I was more finding Samaria in the next chest.
Yeah, and I was, oh my god, yeah. There's a few sword slashes there because I was just like, I'm not too happy. Because to be honest, I was more focused on the fact of, okay, I see that it's Quake. I have a Fire Rod. You know what? I definitely don't. I'm like, I don't need an Ice Rod anytime soon. I don't really care. So I'm like, hey, you know what?
Continue in 2 seconds. Arya Stark entering GT at 1:45:55. So we do have another runner in GT, and Silver Owl is less than 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, this would be a good race between these two.
The bottom, we were talking about it before they even got into Meyer. They activated their flute within like 5 seconds apart. So like they're really close. So I'm going to be interrupting every so often just because we do want to focus a little bit on our runners still running.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, we wanted to. We saw that, and at first, both me and Lucien were a little bit confused about what was going on. And the moment you mirrored, I figured out what it was, and then you found Samaria, and it was just kind of like, oh, that's where it is.
Listen, if I was a smart player, that didn't make mistakes, then I'd be good. But I clown and I make a lot of silly mistakes. I had basically, like I said, I had a one-track mind of me just wanting to go into TR. I knew that it was quick. I'm like, perfect, this is great. It didn't work out.
So, I guess the question with that sword that we were talking about earlier too, or you know what? Let me ask the question from chat. So, how did you feel about that TR swamp? Or TR, I guess this is the exact wording, TR Swamp care package. Finding that mirror and the flippers, I guess, right next to each other.
Yeah, oh yeah. That was...
What went through your head when you found that?
Honestly, the mirror was one thing. Like, I kind of figured that, okay, well, Swamp is an option. I really hope it's not. To be honest, those flippers, all the flippers did in my mind was to say, hey, you know what? Big Bomb is now in Logic. So it was like, okay, this is fine as long as I don't have to go into Swamp. And unfortunately, I kind of had to. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, well, all right, well, that puts Ice in Logic. When I saw the mirror, I'm like, great, now I got to do more checks. And I felt that it was better suited for me to say, hey, you know what? It felt like, I mean, obviously it wasn't there, but I'm like, you know what? I never did the front of Escape. I didn't check Uncle. I didn't want to see how he was doing after he collapsed and, trying to save Zelda and all that type of stuff. I'm like, yeah, I better go pay him a visit. So I was able to tie that in. Then I tied in a couple mirror checks. And if it was, I'll tell you right now, if the flute was on Bumper Ledge, I would have been kicking myself because I don't know why. I just never check it. If it's a pendant Skull Woods, I'm telling you, just my gameplay in a mode like this where I know there's only 2 items, I'm just like, I'm not gonna dip into there.
So yeah, especially with I just want to interrupt you because one of my questions to you was why skip Skull Woods, and it is a note that I have for you. So I guess you're answering my question. Is that it? Because it was a crystal, you didn't even go into the front.
Part of it was that. The other part of it was the fact that one, at the time I didn't have Fire Rod.
Oh, sorry. Rai steps onto the
but he's got a fairy.
Meyer slime. Oh, and has a fairy. We're okay. Okay, sorry. I thought we took a
No,
death
no,
there
that's-
on the Meyer boss. That would have been bad for Rai there.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that would've
continue.
been- no, that would have been devastating.
Yeah, that would've
yeah,
been
a
bad.
lot of it too, though, was by the time that I got myself to that area. Like I said, I mean, I had mitts, hammer, I had stuff that I can complete dungeons with, and I personally feel that there's usually, if there's going to be anything, it's going to be locked behind the fire rod. Yeah, granted, people like to treat it as a glorified overworld, which I completely understand. In a key sanity mode, where, like you have at the very least 5 things that you check, absolutely I check it there, but I just never really like to do it, for basically what I feel is going to end up being, basically 5, at the very least 5 checks that's going to amount to a map, a compass, 2 small keys, and $20. And I just I made a strategic call just to say, hey, I'm not going to do it. I'll go ahead and I'll do Village of Outcast. I'll do what I can in Thieves Town. 3 heart Helma was pretty cool. Surprised I lived through that.
A lot of our runners had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, that was a very good fight.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It was nice knowing the fact that I did have a fairy. So, but when I tried holding out the sword and trying to get hammer hits, and I just couldn't quite get it, and I was being too much of a coward, I'm like, hey, I'll just do 8 fighter sword spins and call it quits.
Yeah,
so.
I think you did swords. Silver showed off a little bit after you. Did you use the bombs? No, you didn't use bombs, right?
I used a couple bombs in the beginning, then I just started slamming down the hammer.
But you had master sword, or
no, I only had fighter sword. That was right off the rip. I didn't get my master sword wasn't until I did Eastern, and then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go dip Pod, see what's in here, and I think Pod literally just only had a sword for me, and that was my only other sword that I had.
Because we had 1 or 2 runners that I think we had somebody that did like just full fighter sword. It might have been you that like took quite a while to get through it. And we had somebody that got in there with like bombs and master sword that got through it pretty fast with the cape. And then we had varying levels of that Vidi fight throughout today.
Oh, I can imagine.
I guess my only other main question for you, and just a comment that both our bottom runners, Arya Stark and Silver Owl, are both in the gauntlet, climbing up, just trying to finish up these randomized enemies, which are a little bit more complicated than you are normally fighting. But, Argus, I kind of missed that on your climb because I was looking at the other runners at the time. But my question to all the runners is going to be, how did you feel about all those Armos fights without a bow?
Oh, I thought it was glorious. I hope you guys caught the fact that I quick swapped one too many, and I try to get to the fire rod just to spam that at the end of the first Armos fight, and I did it. Oops, I quaked.
Oh, I missed
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, I did. I commented on it because I said, "Hey, I don't think that's gonna work because Armos is in the air." I think that's what I said. No, I remember seeing that.
So I quaked.
Oh. That's what happened there. Okay. Well, the big thing we actually got to talk about a lot is because everybody kept fighting them with these master swords, and we had a good conversation about the damage table for Armos Knights and how weird it is in that master sword does less damage than fighter sword does.
Yeah, I think I mean I might be mistaken on this, but I could have sworn somebody told me that basically the more that your swords progress, the weaker they are for Armos. So
that's not quite right. What it is that tempered and fighter are effectively the same.
Ah, okay.
The master sword is specifically coded down because the game expects you to have fighter, and the devs wanted you not to spin, so they purposefully made master sword do less damage. I actually had the damage table up for most of this commentary because we kept talking about it. So I was talking about what people were using. Fire rod and tempered spins are the same, basically.
Yeah, which makes
And-
sense because yeah, if you can spam fire rod, I might be mistaken on this. I think it's six hits with a fire rod kills an Armos,
It's 6
and then
for
if you
Fire
have
Fraud, 6 for Tempered Spins. It is 12 for Fighter Sword slashes and 12 for Tempered Sword slashes, but it is 24 if you're spinning your master, or if you're slashing your Master Sword. So don't slash your Master Sword or spin your Fighter Sword because it's going to take you a long time.
yeah, and I think in both times that I did have Armos, I either had a potion to give myself full health, or I did have full health at the time, so I just had the I had the sword beams just going spamming that, and then
we saw you using the beams, which is good because it's a 12 hit and you're done, and it's thing. Yeah, considering the fact that everybody had to do Armos Knights this entire time without a bow, it would have been nice to find a Cane of Burna that not a single player has found.
Yeah, Golly knows what that is.
yeah, Cane of Burner doesn't exist.
Where is this item? By the way, we do have a third place finisher. I just want to shout it out here. We do have Shire finishing in third off stream with 146. 4.5 minutes behind Zed Sinhi, who is I just realized Rai's timer stopped.
I mean, that's the life hack to get better times. Just stop the timer.
Just stop the timer. Hey, Rai's got a time of 1:33:39. That's first place.
Yeah,
Congratulations! Get your GGs in chat. No, it's accidental. I'm sure that's caused by an accidental click on the keyboard or something.
We're gonna take back your trophy.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Ed.
Yeah, I lose.
Rai has a time of 1:33. We don't know what to say. Well, you don't know what to say.
Wow, just that much better.
Yeah, like. No, it's it happens. I guess that's the main thing. Those are the questions I have, Lucian. I don't know if you have anything additional. We do have Arya Stark finishing the Aga 2 fight, actually. Heading into the Ganon fight. So far, only 3 finishers, so just slightly off podium. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, for Rai, like, rando runners hate him. See how one person gets PBs every seed with one simple trick.
Just stop the timer, and hey, you're in first because you finished early.
That's right. Hey, how about one of the worst Aga 2 fights that you've probably ever seen? 6x1. I mean, that was just dreadful.
Those are some bad patterns.
That was
you had a few
dreadful.
that we were saying. I think we might have been able to get a second, but generally those were just some bad patterns.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, I kind of wasn't bracing myself for like really bad patterns, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And I did sneak a peek at Arya's Aga 2, and it was a heck of a lot better than mine, to say the least. It was
Unfortunately, I looked away because it was during our interview here, but we do have Silver Owl doing it right now, so if you want to watch someone do that Aga 2 fight we're talking about, look in the bottom right of your screen. Oh, that was a double. That was a nice... That was
miles
a nice
better than mine.
I think, Mr. Ed, you can probably see this on the side here too. There it is. There's the last one. Yeah,
miles better than mine. It'll be a close one still between Arya and Silver.
The thing is, though, like, you had even with all of the issues you had with Aga 2 and the Ganon fight, and the fact that you were on Master Sword and not Tempered, you still had a 3-minute lead on the second place finisher. Like, you just had a really clean finish here.
Yeah, and Z Sinhi, I mean, shout out to both Z Sinhi and Shire. Both are really incredible runners, and GGs to them. So to get the best of them does feel good, because they are very, very accomplished runners and very good. And yeah, I guess I don't know, lucked into this. I don't know. But for the most part,
you played well. Like, you did a good job, and really, like, we were talking about it at one point. Even when you were missing Flute, like, you were done six dungeons 6 crystal dungeons, and I think I counted it out. Your on-stream runners were 443. Like, you were a full 2 dungeons ahead at one point. It just, your route really paid off. That getting those, honestly, I'd say getting those mitts as early as you did. You got those mitts at least 20 minutes ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I mean, it was just really just a choice, but I had so much to do. I'm just like, you know what? This is so isolated. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and I'll let you commentate on Arya finishing here.
Oh yeah, Arya down with that last fight. Thank you for that. Arya finishes. Arya does finish in. Wow. Oh my. Arya Stark 2943 with a 4th place finish at 159.40. 5th place is also done. A Rapid Wombat 85 at 159.46.
That's razor thin. That's splitting hairs.
There was a 6-second difference between 4th and 5th. Come on, there's 96 of you here. Like, give us your GGs. Give us your GGs in chat. Those that are that are able to type. Come on. There is a 6-second difference between 4th and 5th.
Meanwhile, Silver Owl is about neck deep in the Ganon fight, so we. What?
We are joined by Arya?
Hello?
Is that Arya Stark? That's your login here?
Oh, wait, confusing on Discord.
Silver Owl ran on magic.
Just Discord names can be a bit. This is you, right?
It is, yes.
Okay. GG's, thank you. Sorry, we just want to make sure.
GG's.
Yeah.
GG's.
You only beat me
I
by
have a lot of
21
questions. I have a lot of things to say, but 6-second difference. How does that feel?
What do you mean?
Do you see 5th place? You're 6 seconds ahead.
Oh yeah, like yeah. I have a tendency to do that.
Oh! What happened to Silver?
He ran out of magic against Ganon.
Oh, he ran out of magic against Ganon. No.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
No. So Arya, to you and Silver, you both got flued at the same time. The bird picked you two up in almost the same frame.
That's cool.
It was that close. We were talking to Mr. Ed during this time, but you two were just climbing back and forth, doing everything. But Silver just unfortunately had a little bit of a slip up, it seems, and has fallen behind.
Oh. I mean, you never like to see that. So.
No.
It's just wild that it was so tight.
It was tight. Like, you two literally got picked up by the bird on the way to Meyer on the same frame.
I'll be very interested to watch that back.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. We have a number of questions. The first question I always have is, how do you feel about the seed?
I thought as far as Enemizer goes, it was pretty tame. Aside from like the flute hunt, it was, I don't know, it really wasn't that bad. But I also don't mind Enemizer that much, so.
We were talking to Mr. Oh, that spike in that last room there before going up the stairs is a fun one. I'm just seeing it on Ryers for the first time. I wasn't looking, but
yeah, that was auto cape room for me.
Yeah, makes sense, especially in Enemizer. So one question we've kind of had, and that we've had for Mr. Ed, and we have for the other runners. How did it feel doing all those armless fights without a bow?
Tedious, I guess.
Good answer.
The one thing we saw from you that we didn't see from the other runners, you are aware that the Master Sword does less damage to Armos than pretty much everything else in the game?
Nope. Now I do.
The bow is less, but the thing is that the Master Sword swing and the Fighter Sword spin are actually half as effective as the Master Sword or as the Fighter Sword slash. So if you spin, you'll actually do more damage. Master Sword Slash is pretty much useless against Armos and will take 24 hits instead of the 12.
That sounds about right.
And then a little rainbow comes with like the more you know.
Yeah, it's one
Knowledge
of those
is
things
power,
that like, you
knowledge
don't
is power.
realize it until you try it. It's counterintuitive, but it is the way the game is programmed.
It's great
Yeah.
to learn, and learning is power.
G.I. Joe. Yeah, for me, it was mostly let's not let any of these ridiculous fights get squirrely. That was pretty much it. The last thing I wanted to do was screw around and all of a sudden be neck deep in Armos and just like, let's not play games.
Yeah, the one thing if you can get something like sword beams, they actually do more damage than a Master Sword Spin, due to the fact of just sword beams do fighter sword damage and therefore do more than Master Sword against Armos for some unknown reason. I guess something to be to know in Enemizer. That was the only thing I really had for you.
All right, Silver Owl wraps up with a time of 2:05:05, good for 6th overall in the race room, 3rd on our restream.
There are 2 runners still running, Rai, and we got 1 more. So here it is. Does Rai manage to make it?
Rai doing this clutch 1.5 hearts too, by the way.
Yeah, 1.5 hearts. Don't take the hit. Do not get the fire bats to spawn. Phase 3 is one of those awkward things that can get you killed in a really ridiculous place.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay,
as a fairy. Oh, phew.
Yeah,
Good,
the
good,
fairy.
good.
A number of runners picked it up. At least one person picked up more. Arya, was it you?
I did at one point, and then I
Ah.
used them. I used them geniusly on Laser Bridge. Definitely not unintentional deaths.
According to plan, that's all.
No, yeah, that's well, just laid plans. Die repeatedly.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. And we are joined by Silver Owl. GG.
GG.
GG's, everyone.
GG's.
And Rai finishes. Sorry, we got to interrupt here.
No,
Does get Ganon down. I lost my race room. There it is. And Rai does finish in 7th overall with 2:06:31, about a minute and 26 seconds behind Silver Owl.
That's not what my timer on stream tells me.
Yeah. Rai's the winner.
1:33:39. So Rai wins. Right? No, that's not how it works. You cannot stop your timer. But please do get your GGs in chat. And while you're listening to us, already our runners' channels have been posted, and our volunteers, my co-com, Lucian, and our trackers here. Please do give everybody a follow. It does help everybody out, as everybody is volunteering to either be restreamed or to help out here. But Silver Owl, how do you feel about the scene?
Well, I think I made a couple silly mistakes early. On the other hand, I was not planning to go to Pendant Swamp Palace until I absolutely had to, so I'm not sure there was much of a way around that.
So you say early, you and Arya Stark, the bird picked you up from activating the flute on pretty much the same frame.
Oh, that's great.
You lined up for the whole run into Meyer into the finish of the game.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you had a few unfortunate circumstances at the end.
Yeah, I thought I had enough magic for Ganon, and then I panicked, thinking I wouldn't get the torch glitch, and lost all the magic I needed to finish the fight.
Happens.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Like sometimes, you're caught in the excitement of the goal, the end's in sight, and then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, you had that trap up on the final staircase of Agnes Tower or Ganon's Tower. Got to burn your cape to get past it.
Yeah, it was just one thing leading to another. And all the muscle memory techniques I have don't really work in Enemizer, because you don't know what's going to be in that room.
Oh, for sure. It can be pretty rough fight there. The question we've asked everybody else is, I think we asked this of Arya. If we didn't, answer it too. But how did you feel? We're about to get joined by Rai. Let's maybe have everybody join in here. And we are joined by Rai. I hope we've been pronouncing your name right so far in the entire stream.
I haven't heard it, but it's pronounced Rai. Yeah.
Rai. Okay, we're right. Okay, great. I am glad to know we haven't been getting it wrong the whole time.
Yeah, GG's on first place,
welcome to the commentator booth here. We were just about to ask Silver, and I guess it goes to you. How did it feel with all of those non-bow Armos fights, those bowless Armos fights?
It felt surprising, I would say, but it's doable. It's just rough, I guess. And I
thought it was funny.
Yeah, you're always used to always having, because you never enter, you can't clear it in normal runs without a bow. So I was just, not prepared, and I even died to one of them.
The one big thing we were just talking about is that the big thing, especially with that particular setup, is that Master Sword actually does less damage than Fighter or Tempered to that setup. So you were all on Master Sword when you were doing it, which made it all the more awkward.
I didn't actually know that. That's rough. But fun enough, that's actually how I used to kill him when I was a child as well. Just use the sword. Why would I use the bow? I wasn't very smart, so
I just had the patience. It was a little bit of a funny conversation we were just having with Arya. That yes, the Master Sword specifically actually does less damage than the other sword, because the devs didn't want that set up that way. They didn't want you to use your sword in vanilla.
So if you were to do in vanilla Ganon's Tower with just a Master Sword, and you run out of arrows, you're essentially gonna have a bad time, yeah?
Oh yes, your best bet. Actually, your best bet at that point is to fire rod them. Fire rod and Tempered Sword spins both kill in 6. Tempered Sword slashes do 12. As do Fighter Sword slashes. So Fighter Sword and Tempered Sword actually do the same amount of damage to Armos, but Master Sword does half the amount of either of them.
I would never have guessed that.
Yeah,
I wonder if that was like
weird things you learn when playing Enemizer, that do not use your Master Sword, and if you have a Fighter Sword, do not spin, because it actually does less damage.
I wonder if that is like a buff to the Fighter Sword to help people with the first, dungeon in the vanilla game. Like, oh, you run out of arrows. Well, the sword is a bit stronger then.
No, I think it's intended if you're gonna spin because you think it does more damage, we're gonna make you not, because bow is so much stronger. When you think about vanilla, swinging it is 12, spinning it is 24, but using a bow is 3. Right? They're trying to teach you, stop using everything else because it doesn't do damage. Use the bow because it's better.
Well, in this case, I do appreciate that they still let us use other items. I can't complain too much, I guess.
I don't have too many other questions. Lucian, do you have anything for our other runners here?
No, you've said pretty much everything I had in mind.
Okay, I guess the big thing is to the runners. I guess any other additional thoughts? We've had a lot of time here with Mr. Eden to talk. How did it feel? I guess from our side, what we've said is that at about 23, 24 minutes, we had everything we needed to finish this game except the rods and flute. And then about 40 minutes later, we were still missing the flute. Did it feel that way to you guys? How did it feel while playing?
It actually felt pretty good until maybe an hour 15 or something like that. Because we kept getting new items and I kept having places to go. And at some point, I did also realize that I have everything except that it was the ice rod and the flute. And it's well, maybe I won't need the ice rod, you never know, but possibly. And shortly after that is when I realized I don't have a flute and I'm gonna need it from Mr. Meyer. And then it just pray that it will show up, which it never did.
That makes sense. Anybody else? Silver, how did you feel?
Yeah, I mean, Dark World access very early. There's so much you can just run around and do. And I think I got lucky with the way I collected Fire Rod into Ice Rod. But yeah, that flute, the lack of flute was not great. We need to do a lot of running around the map.
But you did get those boots and hammer like in your first 2 starting locations.
Yeah, no,
How
it
did
was
everybody
a
feel
great
about that?
start.
What one person started boots? Who was it? Someone started
Probably me.
Sanctuary.
Yeah,
Okay,
probably me.
Mr. Ed. Everybody else started the hammer. But how did it feel, I guess, for everybody starting with such prominent items?
I would say having boots immediately felt incredibly reassuring, knowing that you won't accidentally miss them and everyone might get them. So you're not going to lag behind on that. Of course, there's no advantage to get either, but it was really reassuring. And having a weapon, essentially, early on with the hammer.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
when I
biggest
get...
cons-
sorry.
No, I was gonna say my biggest concern is when I saw those boots, and I'm like, well, it's Enemizer, and dashing with not a sword is probably the most dangerous thing I do. And then, hey, there's Lost Woods. There's a sword. Thank you. So that felt pretty good.
Yeah, when I got the hammer, for maybe 20 seconds, I entertained the idea of going through some of Front of Escape, since I had a great weapon. And then I met a Lionel on the way to Uncle and decided against that.
Yeah, actually, good question. How did everyone feel about that Lionel in that area?
Breath of the Wild Master Mode, right?
I started laughing because I haven't done Enemizer in a while, so that that threw me off, and I realized this ain't gonna be a normal run. But I didn't have the foresight as you had. I actually still went and did front of our castle with the hammer, but it went pretty well actually. So that was lucky.
Yeah, imagine me doing Hyrule Castle at the hour and 10 mark, hour and 15, something like that. I tied front of Hyrule Castle and Uncle with Big Bomb to literally nothing. So by the time that I saw the Lionel, I mean I had a cape anyways. I just kind of looked at it. I'm like, haha, nice try, dude.
I guess Rai, you were the only runner on stream to pick up silvers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mr. Ed actually did a Master Sword silverless finish, and everybody else did tempered silverless.
Where was the second banner again? I remember one was on what's it called? Not the pedestal. The
Bombo. Everybody got
the
Bombo's
Bombo's
tablet. Everybody else missed Swamp.
Oh. Wait, how? Oh, so everyone went to the boss first before doing left side swamp.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking since it was just a hunt, I might as well just do it immediately. And well, lucky me to some extent, I guess, because that really helped with Vitrius, I think its name.
Yep. Made your fight easier for sure. I guess any Lucian, any final questions?
No, nothing here.
To our runners, any final comments before we close out here?
Yeah, I'll just take my time to say again a big appreciation and thanks to the Speed Gaming volunteers, to commentators, trackers, restreamers, and everybody affiliated with the Speed Gaming community and the Rando community, and to all the runners, both on stream here and the other ones that ran GGs. When I saw that this was Enemizer, I'm like, oh my god, I love Enemizer, I gotta do this. So again, big thanks to Speed Gaming putting this on, and hopefully we put on a good show. But again, if it's not for the Speed Gaming community, for all the volunteers that help put this on, we wouldn't be able to put on a good show for you guys. Hopefully you saw some good plays, hopefully you saw some bad plays, which, trust me, there were plenty of bad plays for me, so which is as per tradition. But again, big thanks to all of them. Don't give me a follow because I'm a memer. But I mean, if you do, that's fine. But more importantly, give my fellow runners here a follow. I happen to know Aria, and this is actually, I think, the first time I've had the pleasure of meeting Silver and Rai Rai. So they're very capable runners, very nice people, like everybody is in the rando community. And if you're not part of this, like I said, myself and basically anybody that you come across, if you wanted to get yourself into this, there are so many cool people. I'm so blessed and honored to be a part of this, and I really look forward to helping out anybody or just trying to entertain. And again, if it's not for the whole speed gaming community, we wouldn't be able to put on a show. And to them, I thank them very much. And I think I'll shut up for now.
Well said.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to everyone involved. GG to all the runners.
GG, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Lucian and Zethna for calling it, and Jinxie Girl and Alex Sadlitz for tracking. It's always fun. I don't usually volunteer to be restreamed that often, but this seemed like it would be a fun time, and it was a fun seed. And despite what Mr. Ed says, you should definitely follow him if you want to learn how to last locate like a pro, because it's helped me a lot. So
It's true. That is true. I do have to say this real quick, and I think I did mention this to you before, Arya, but in a ladder race, when you mentioned, I think it was a ladder race. It might have been a speed gaming. I'm not even 100% certain, but you put a comment. Yeah, you put the comment saying your last location skills or you're really honing in on your last location skills. That put a smile on my face. I mean, like to me, something like that where I'm known for last locating and being an absolute clown and I guess halfway decent at the game. To be honest, I don't even still think I'm good. I mean, I look at, there are so many good runners out here that it's impossible for me to be able to turn around and say, oh yeah, that person's got to beat that person. There's so many good runners, and then even then, if you're a beginner. And you look at some of this and be like, yeah, well, I can't do this or I can't be that good. Yes, you can. We all started from somewhere, and even then, there's so many different skill levels that it's so much fun. I can come in last place in a race like this and not care because just being a part of this is an absolute blast. And again,
I just want to say we had a whole conversation about this between me and Lucian recently about entering the community and a lot of that information earlier during the race, and we said a lot of the same things you're saying right now.
Yeah, I mean we say all these same things because it's true. It's so true. So again, thank you to everybody.
Lucian, you got anything to finish off before we get off?
No. You, everyone, thank you so much for putting on a show for us tonight. Y'all spoken volumes about this community.
Okay, so I guess finally, thank you to our runners who agreed to be restreamed. You guys all did a really good. You all did a really good job. Thank you for being here. Thank you to our to our trackers, Jinxie Girl and Alex Seidlitz. And thank you to Lucian for commentating with me. I had a great time tonight with you.
Same here. Make sure you give our runners a follow. Make sure to follow Speed Gaming for daily links to the best content, as well as many other games like Metroid games, Mario games, Final Fantasy, all kinds of games, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say there's so many games, as you're saying. There's so many games that are on here. A lot for tonight. Unfortunately, most of the games have been finished up. I'm just double checking here. But as you said, there's so many games. So follow Speed Gaming main, just Speed Gaming, and Speed Gaming 2 through 6. But if you're interested tonight in more ALTTPR action, we do have an ALTTPR League game, our Season 5 Invitationals game, between the teams Leftovers Forever and don't forget to track us. that is happening over on Speed Gaming 4. It is more ALTTPR action. It is a co-op re-entrance. Co-op meaning the runners are talking to each other on their team and sharing information. Quite a bit different than what we just saw right here. But it's more ALTTPR. And it's going to be really cool. And I'm just taking a look, and there are some really good runners over there. So, yeah, the runners over there are Daze Cloud, Mystic, Flip Heel, and Aikir. And Aikir. And, yeah. Go check them out. Go keep watching some ALTTPR on Speed Gaming. I hope you had a good time with us here tonight, and I hope to see you next time.
Have a good night, everyone.